Hello, and welcome back to the Members Only YouTube channel. I am back with yet another album review of the new Bad Bad Not Good album, Talk Memory. This is the fifth album by the Canadian instrumental band Bad Bad Not Good. Uh, I haven't heard anything from this band yet besides this, but I have heard of this band, and I knew that, from what I heard at least, they were kind of like jazz with sort of more hip hop sensibilities. And so I was going into listening to this album expecting some, unique kind of like hip hop in funk and electronic infused jazz, but I didn't really get that on this album. That's not an insult though, because this album is still great. Very, very rooted in improvisation. It's uh, definitely like jazz. There aren't really a lot of hip hop influences on this album. It definitely just seems like the album was more influenced by the classics of jazz. You know, what your Miles Davises and your John Coltrane's and what have you. And yeah, this album is some of the best modern jazz I've heard in a long, long time. It seems very traditional, but it's it sounds like something that could only be made today, despite how so obviously influenced by classic jazz it is. You know, great performances, great instrumentation. The opening track, "Signal from the Noise," the like it starts out as this sort of barren wasteland, and then when the tempo starts to pick up, and it gets a little more spicy, then it's kind of like watching popcorn pop, like in real time. You know, it's just electric. It's infectious, catchy. And the string arrangements on this album, oh, gorgeous. Absolutely love the strings on this album. And there's also some really strong grooves on this album, especially with the closing track of this album, "Talk Meaning." Great bass line on that song. Yeah, there isn't really too much to take a deep dive in on this album. It's just a very straightforward jazz album, but it's still an excellent album. You know, the string arrangements on a lot of the songs are very, very just milky and juicy. And it's very catchy, but it's also very subtly complex. You know, on unfolding, there's a really great zither part on that song, which is really unique. Never really heard a zither on a song before. Yeah, my only complaint is that I kind of wish the album was longer, because a lot of the songs feel short, when they aren't really that short, but for jazz music, I guess they would be considered short. Like some of the songs are like 5 minutes or less, and I just really enjoy hearing the incredible improvisation and virtuosity on this album. So, if you're gonna like improvise as much as you did on this album, you gotta take it to the extreme, you know? You gotta go above and beyond with the technical virtuosity uh, of this album. But yeah, I think it's really great. I really love this album. And it's very perfectly produced. The drums sound killer. The bass sounds fat. The guitars and the saxes sound vibrant, and the string arrangements sound beautiful and lush. Yeah, again, my only complaint is that I wish, uh, they went more in depth with their complexity on this album. I'm feeling a light to decent 9 on this album. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this album review. I strongly recommend you listen to this album, even if you don't like jazz, because who knows, you might like jazz after listening to this album. On the screen right now, you can see my last album review that I did on this channel, and yeah, that's gonna do it. Bad, not good. Talk memory, decent 9. Yeah. So I'll see you the next time I review an album. Goodbye.